after the pandemic has kept me so busy because aside from designing clothes, I also do other things. I tend to the garden. I also, in terms of fashion, of course, I join the bazaars. Is one thing for sure because we have to get ourselves out there. I also do painting, obviously, the works that I have around here. And I also go to my father's ancestral home, which I helped rebuild. It's restored. And other passions, like I get invited to judge beauty contests. And also work with my dad's properties in Mindoro at work and restore again a B&B, an old house that we had to fix up, and eventually do a master plan for an island. Okay, let me start with the personal life. I would think my biggest achievements are my children. I have two grown-up children, and they're called, well, one's a girl, of course, my eldest is a boy. Girl. So David now works as he was an engineer, and now he has very good entrepreneurial skills. And he manages his own beer company, and then also a leader with his group for JCI. The JCs, they do a lot of service to the communities. While my daughter is now living in Milan, and she also champions our fabrics in terms of lamps. So she's an industrial designer, and we're actually collaborating in this endeavor because I supply her the materials and she makes them, she fashions them into beautiful lamps, just like what you see in the other show. Yeah, so that's from the personal, but also from my career, there were a lot of achievements in terms of painting awards, like the Towns Awards, the Outstanding Women in Nation Service. Also, I was given a special mention from the WIN conference, Women International Networking, for helping empower women in communities, and the Agora Awards, which was also a marketing arm, which also gave credits to the women who were good in their careers. For me, it's about creating a routine because I realized that daily practice of these things makes, it's also really part of your DNA. And once it's there, once it's ingrained into your system, everything seems to flow during the day. Like for instance, I first work on being quiet in the mornings. I do my meditation, prayer moments. I do my walking, and then have breakfast with family, and then of course doing all the morning rituals. And then when I get to work, I'm ready to face the world. I'm ready to be able to face my clients, and things go. There will be kinks during the day, but I'm sure I'll be able to solve them. Just like I said, it's more of the quiet moments that you have. I do it regularly, even during the whole day. I find myself taking time out from the daily routine, and if I find myself stressed, I go back to the room. I just sit down, or I rest a bit, take some naps, and then go back to work again. I feel so much more refreshed and confident. Things will go and work out well. So it's really how we keep ourselves absorbed and also balanced with it. In my opinion, I would think a balanced and empowered woman would be someone who would be confident, not just for what she has outside. Like she has to feel good in and out of herself. So it's about feeling not just beautiful and glamorous and gorgeous, but also looking within and finding your self-assurance, your inner, it means like you've done your homework. You have inner work. You have to have some content in your life, find peace with it. And I think that alone makes a lot of difference. Also our values, our virtues in life. I think that makes more of like a holistic, a whole woman. So even if you don't have anyone in particular to make you feel whole, you feel whole with it. So it doesn't mean that somebody has to give you that missing link. You have to find it within you. At some point in my life, I had to deal with dishonest and fraudulent people. And at one time I felt it gave me so much. This feeling that I was not confident enough. I felt like I somehow felt incapacitated because something was taken out of me. But also learning from that situation, it made me strong. Because somehow these things, if you know how to ride it through and you're able to face the situation open-mindedly, it makes you a stronger and better woman. And I think that's the biggest part of the wonderful thing that happens. When wisdom comes in and you're able to sit back and say, yeah, nothing lost because I learned so much from that whole experience. Okay, to the younger women, I would think my advice to you guys would be to how to ride the tide. I mean, of course, we all have to go through this. I mean, in fact, it's more exciting when you have the challenges, when you have to bump into something, your highs, your lows. But the better portion or the better part of it is when you have achieved a greater success for it. Like once you're able to run through that. Sometimes we realize that when you're in it, a friend once told me, this too will end, right? It will not last. So going through that whole experience makes you so much of a better person when you're out. Oh, just like I said a while ago, I mean, everything seems to be connected because I do believe in a holistic lifestyle. And from the very start, I've taken this path in terms of living healthy, creating a well-balanced way of life. Like you have to work on your body, your spirit, the body, the mind, and the spirit. Right? So when you're able to balance these things, everything falls into place. And then again, I just find that things start to work and they get put together and end up in a better result. So that alone in my mind makes me feel good that I can tackle anything. I can go and face up to things that maybe other people will find difficult and get challenging. Well, for me, we're talking about the feminine principles, right? And I do believe that strength is gentle, and we don't have to be so aggressive or brash or try to fight it out there, because deep within us we have this woman, this principle that we have unlike the men. I mean, they're more like the macho, and then, they have to show that they have strength in their muscles. But like us, we have that other side where we are able to somehow, if we take it out and we are able to show them that there is the other side to the point. I mean, what a better way to go. Because sometimes we think empowerment, oh yeah, we have to go to the streets, we have to fight, we have to do this. But no, it's not there. It's from how we are able to show love, peace, and kindness, beauty, all the above that can work for us, not against us. So, my personal quote was a quote from Robin Sharma, which reads, I read it now. To really lead is to grow more leaders and to shine a light on people's gifts and talents. So that for me is so empowering because it's not just about myself, it's also about others, how I'm able to share my life with them, just like you guys, and also how to lead them into seeing life on a better light. Well, I dealt with that with my father because he was always like overbearing with me. But again, I think our best lead or best solution to that would be to have the patience to outwit them and outgrow them and outlive them. So I think all throughout those years that I had to deal with my father, he always it was quite oppressive because I know it was for my comfort, and I knew it was for me to learn from. But I always had this nerve. I always wanted to fight back. But I said, no, I'm not. All those years, because there were times I would fight. But now, when I came back home and then I had to deal with him again face to face, I said, no, I'm just gonna sit back, listen to it, and just write it through. And then eventually things happen. I mean, not well, of course, eventually things happen. But again, I was telling myself, see, things have an end to it. I think he died peacefully and happily. No more battles.
No more dramas.
No more dramas. Yes. For the Filipina youth of today, I would think going back to oneself, feeling secure about who you are, finding your own DNA, because I think that makes a big difference. Like I found mine early in life and I started connecting the dots. So I said, oh, so this is the reason why I was here during this time, and then I moved forward and I said, okay, now I'm a designer, now what to do with the rest of my life, and finding purpose. That makes a lot of difference. When we find our purpose, we know our goals, we can dream and we can visualize what we want in life. And that is power. That brings the power inside, brings it out.